Welcome back to another episode of I Didn't Know Postpartum Edition. I'm so glad that you tuned in. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you can get notifications, and let's get into it. All right, so today we're going to be talking about mom rage to burnout, okay? Mom rage and burnout, recognizing the signs and recovering from it. So, as a new mom, you may be like, what is mom rage? Mom rage is real, okay? And when you hear about it, then you'll be able to identify when you feel like that and how you're going to navigate through that. And if you don't know, my name is Jure. I am a wellness postpartum coach, creating space for new moms to feel seen and heard through prioritizing their wellness, rediscovering who they are, and most are building their village. Okay, we can build a village together. I want you to be a part of my village, and I want to be a part of yours. So yeah, here we go. All right, so we talked about diving into the important topic of mom rage. So let's talk about it. Mom rage is a common phenomenon that can occur when moms feel overwhelmed, stressed, and emotionally drained. It often stems from the pressures of managing multiple responsibilities and trying to meet everyone's needs. Can you relate? I know I can. Before I could, before I realized what mom rage was, I could relate to that. However, constant mom rage can lead to burnout, affecting both the mom's well being and the overall family dynamic. So, moms set the foundation of their home. They're the CEOs. They make sure everything's running smooth from day to day, make sure kids good, husband's good, husband knows what to expect. It's just about that communication barrier throughout the way. There's no barriers through communication. So when moms are not taking time, prioritizing their wellness, and not making time to do things to figure out who they are in the process, and just continue, like, just to pour out to everyone and neglect themselves, mom rage does come into factor, y'all. It does come into factor. I want y'all to let me know in the comments too, like, have you guys ever experienced a mom rage, and how did you cope with it? Because let's talk about it. How can you identify if you're experiencing mom rage? And I'm gonna discuss some of the signs and symptoms as well, okay? Frequent irritability. So if you find yourself getting easily irritated over small things that wouldn't typically bother you, it might be a sign of mom rage or you're on the path to it, okay? So if it's like something small, like, okay, the toy's in the middle of the floor and that just sets you off, it's a sign that you're developing that mom rage inside. And then it goes into hormones as well, but I'm gonna stay focused, okay? I'm gonna stay focused. But snapping and yelling, constantly snapping at your kids, your partner, or even inanimate objects can indicate a build of frustration and anger. You have the physical symptoms such as headaches, muscle tension, increased heart rate, and difficulty sleeping are physical manifestations of mom rage. Okay, those are the out factors. Okay, exterior factors where you're going to be like, okay, let me check myself, let me bring it back because um my heart rate's increased. Everything is just, I got a headache, my muscles aching, I'm getting irritated with little things that don't really usually bother me. And then you have emotional exhaustion. You're like emotionally drained. So say you're tapped out or baby's been crying all day. If you have other kids, like if you have a toddler, the toddler is off the chain today. Like it's just so many things that's just coming in play. And then you just have a whole to-do list. You are trying to figure out what's for dinner. Your partner's like, hey, what are we eating for dinner? Or what do I need help with? Like it's just so many factors that come into it. And you're just like, what is going on? You're going to constantly feel overwhelmed. Experiencing frequent mood swings are common signs of the burnout. Okay? Because burnout and mom rage all come into play. Okay? Mom rage is like a symptom of burnout. And if you haven't been there, I hope that you do not get there so that you continue to take care of yourself and your family. But now that we have identified the signs, let's move on to discussing some effective ways to recover from mom rage and prevent burnout. Okay? Because we could talk about what it is, we could talk about the signs and symptoms, but if you're not applying it so that you can recover, it doesn't really matter, right? So I want to make sure that you can walk away with knowing your signs and symptoms. You're going to know how can I recover from it if you're in the process, but if you're a new mom, haven't experienced it, now you know. Because this channel is for you to learn about the things that we often don't discuss during postpartum. So let's talk about my favorite one, self-care. Prioritize that, okay? Self-care activities that recharge you physically and emotionally, mentally as well. Sometimes you just need to take a step away and just do things that's going to make you feel better. It's going to fill you up. It can be hobbies, it can be from seeking support from friends or support groups. So one thing I personally like to do is I picked up gardening. That's how I prioritize self-care. I do journaling, I do some meditation. I am a active Christian, okay? So I read my word and I spend time with the Lord to make sure, get my mind right and my spirit. But I also do things like, calling up a friend or making sure that I go outside, go on a walk for nature or go walking. So my goal I do every day is I walk. I walk at least 10 minutes a day. It sounds like, oh, just 10 minutes. Yes, 10 minutes, the way my life is set up, but I make time for that. I like to read. There's different things that fill me up, and I have my daily task list. I was right here. So I have a daily task list every day. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay, well, I'll drop it for you guys somewhere, okay? To see it. But it's a daily task list where I'm making sure that I'm taking care of myself in all of those areas every single day. Okay. It's non-negotiable. It makes me show up better for my family. And I make sure that I have it all written out so that I'm not having that decision fatigue trying to make those ways of how to spend time with myself. Okay. Hope that makes sense. So I push you to write down things that you enjoy doing so that you can put on your list. 2, set boundaries. Learn to say no and be confident with it. Okay. Establish boundaries to avoid taking on more than you can handle. It's essential to recognize your limitations and communicate them to your family. If somebody keep asking you for stuff and you keep saying yes, 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 you know what they're going to keep doing? Asking, asking, asking. But sometimes you just have to let them know, like, hey, it's not a good time. I'm not able to do that. Hey, I don't like the way that you did X, Y, Z. Hey, whatever it is, insert whatever it is, make sure that you set those boundaries up, and that can help minimize burnout. Okay? You can't recover from it. You can even set boundaries with your partner. Like, hey, it's my time to take a shower, so you have to keep the baby. Simple as that. Because if you're like, oh, I just skip a shower, if you're not communicating, your partner really won't understand. They'd be like, oh, well, they might be good with not taking a shower. But if you have to speak up for yourself, you have to be your biggest advocate. Just like you advocate for baby, advocate for yourself so that you can feel good. Sometimes even self-care may be small as taking a shower sometimes, and you're going to feel incredible. Okay. So it's just the little things go a long way. And I want you to know that. Okay. All right. Make sure that you delegate tasks, share responsibilities with your spouse or other family members, delegate tasks that can lighten your load and give you some much needed breathing space. If that task does not need you directly, you can pass it off. For example, dishes. The dishes, you are not the only person in your house that needs to wash the dishes. Partner can wash the dishes. You can hire somebody to wash the dishes. Laundry, you can outsource that. And you may be like, well, you gotta pay for that. Sometimes you gotta pay for your village. In today's time, sometimes that means making a budget friendly and finding ways to do that. And if you're not able to do that yet, just spread out your day-to-day task and communicate with your spouse so that you can partner up to get that stuff done. Because you don't want to be in a point where you're carrying all of that mental load and all of the household stuff and you're burned out. Meanwhile, your spouse over there, big chilling, watch TV. Oh, okay. 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 Yeah. So make sure you locate those tasks. If it doesn't need you directly, you can spread out the task. Teamwork make the dream work, right? But here, like for example, here's a task you're not. Say you're breastfeeding. You're not able to delegate that task unless you're doing formula. Then you can pass, the baby off to somebody, blah blah blah. But just yeah, I want you to know your non-negotiable tasks that you have to do, and then think about the tasks that don't need you directly. You feel me? And for my mamas who doing postpartum planning right now, feel free to go download my digital product online. It's a postpartum planning guide. It's going to help you know, okay, how am I going to do meal prep? How am I taking time for myself? What are the non-negotiables? What is my partner's non-negotiables? How are we going to build our village out? Those are things that you have to have conversations about because if you don't know, you won't do it. Yeah, it's a specific guide. Yes, you can find free guides, but it's not going to be personalized to what you need. And if you're like, I don't know where to start, book a session and we can plan it together so that you can be prepared. Do not wing the fourth trimester. okay? When you wing it, it brings more stress, okay? Because there's this quote that I often hear that I had to apply. You have to be proactive, not reactive. So if you're, planning for postpartum, when the things, unexpected things happen, you kind of like, okay, I know how to pivot a little bit versus like, oh, what is going on? And it can't help with mental health this too. That doesn't mean you're not going to have, challenges during postpartum, but the plan is going to help you. Okay. All right. And then speaking of my last one is seeking professional help. If mom rage and burnout persist, despite all these efforts that I just talked about, delegating, setting boundaries, self-care, don't hesitate to seek professional help. You can seek therapy, you can seek a coach, you can go to a healthcare provider. But let me say, if you come look for me, I am not a licensed healthcare provider. I'm here to self-educate. I help you create goals, and I help you prioritize your wellness and rediscover who you are. A therapist, they do something different. Doctors, they do something different. Okay. If you want to know that different, I can let you know. But right now we just talking about recovery and mom rage and burnout. So I'm gonna keep going on the script. Okay. All right. But additionally, here are a few more strategies that you can help to recover from mom rage and prevent burnout. Okay. Practice mindfulness. Incorporate mindfulness techniques into your daily routine. Quiet times. You know, take a few moments each day to focus on your breath. Engage in meditation or practice gratitude, y'all. I love talking about gratitude. Okay. In the mornings, think about what are you grateful for. During the day, when you feel frustrated, think about your gratitude. Think about the things that you already have. It can help lift your mood. Even asking people in your home, what are you grateful for today? Can make a big difference. It can shift the home. And it can help you stay present and reduce stress. Breathing helps. If you're frustrated, baby, keep crying. You don't know what to do. Toddler life, make a difference. Teenagers, make a difference. Okay. All right. Emotional constancy makes a difference. Exercise and prioritize physical health. Now, if you just had a baby, I'm not telling you go out there and run a block. When you're cleared, you can go for walks. You can do some deep breathing. You can do some simple stretching after you get cleared. I'm not telling you go do that right now, but here are things to think about and how you're going to take care of yourself. Engaging in regular exercise not only improves physical health, but also releases endorphins. They make you feel good. It reduces that stress. Make time for physical activity. Maybe it's just a short walk or a yoga session. Stretching. They make wonders, okay? You're gonna be like, wow, I feel so much better. And one thing I like about walking, y'all, you get so creative. You're gonna get ideas that's just flowing and flowing and flowing. Ooh, my next one, connect with other moms. Surround yourself with a supportive network of fellow moms who can relate to your experiences. Yeah. Oh, what? Oh, yeah. You can join. Yeah. My peer support group coming together. You can join the wait list. And when it's released, you can join us. And that's another way. But there's also other resources as well where you can join online communities, attend local mom groups, or arrange play dates to share stories, advice, support. They got Peanut. You have PSI, the Postpartum Support International. There's all these kind of resources that you can have. Ooh, y'all, the library. You can connect with other parents there. Hear me out. They have story time. Your baby can play, or that's stimulating. Your toddler can play, learn. They read books. It's a great outing. You can talk to other adults. Great outing. Okay? So that's one to consider. And there's other resources, depending on where you live, where you can go out and get out the house free of charge. Hear me out. It's good stuff. And then let's talk about time management. I'm a big believer in time management. Okay? Because as a mom who runs a business, and I'm home full time with the kids. Time management. Time management. Say with me. Time management. Efficiently manage your time by creating a schedule or using productivity apps. So when I say creating a schedule, in that newborn phase, it's kind of hard to create that schedule, but have a list of non-negotiables that you're going to do during the day. Do you want to journal? Do you want to read? Do you want to take a nap? Do you want to, call a friend or eat, drink water? write them down. And that's going to give you kind of a guide of creating that habit of doing that, even though you're not able to create a schedule, a set schedule, but it's going to give you those habits. So when you are able to get on schedule, you can do that. Okay. All right. So I'm glad to talk about that. But I want you to prioritize tasks and set realistic goals. Don't think that you're going to be doing some stuff that you did, pre-baby. You won't probably be able to do all that just yet. And that's okay. You got to have slow seasons and start small. Okay? Start small. You want to make sure that you are taking care of yourself and not overwhelming yourself trying to rush and do things. Make time. Dedicate time for self-care activities. And self-care does not always mean like you got to get your nails done, your hair done, all those things. Those are nice. When you look good, you feel good. But check on how you're doing internally. How's your moods? How are you doing mentally? How are you doing physically? Do you need more sleep? Do you need more rest? Do you need support? Like, these are the things you have to ask for self-care activities. Check in with yourself so that you know what you need to ask for help. It's going to help reduce being overwhelmed and create a better work-life balance. So when you do go back to work, you kind of have things rolling to take care of you. You know what the baby needs. You know what support you need. It's going to set you up for greatness. All right. Time management. That's why I said get that postpartum planning guide. You're not even going to be running around like, what I need to do. You're going to have it right in front of you. Okay. Remember, recovering from mom rage and burnout is an ongoing process that requires patience and self-compassion. It's not I did these things today, I won't ever have it. No, it's like a continuous thing. You need to have those habits. Habits. Okay. You need to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. It's essential to be kind to yourself and acknowledge that you deserve support and understanding. Speak life into yourself. Tell yourself, I deserve this. I deserve that time alone. You don't need mom guilt. If you want to leave and go to the grocery store by yourself, don't feel guilty when you leave. Just go ahead, enjoy it. And when you come back, you're going to feel better. You're going to show up better. Okay? Sometimes it's just easier to take that break. Take that break. But that's going to wrap up our discussion about mom rage and burnout. I want you guys to make sure that you are aware of the signs and symptoms. How can you recover? And know that you can seek support when you are needed, when it's needed, not you're needed. We do need you, but But yeah. So I hope you enjoyed these strategies. You can reclaim your joy and find a healthier balance in your life, because balance is not. So when I say achieve balance, it means doing what works for you, prioritizing what you need to focus on. And whatever gets you into, okay, these are my main things I'm focusing on. We're going to focus on those to get you aligned so that you have balance in your life. Okay. But remember, you're not alone, and seeking help is a sign of strength. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more valuable content. I will be back next week for another video. And as always, leave your comments and questions below. I love hearing from you. Until next time, take care of yourself. Remember that you are doing an incredible job as a mom, as a wife, as a woman. I'm going to say it the other way. As a woman, as a wife, and as a mom. You're doing a great job. So stay strong, stay resilient, seek help, and go check out worthyforever.com if you need more resources. Until next time.